Hello, everyone, and welcome to our CSPC interview series. My name is Kaela Scott, and today I will be talking with Karen Baele, the Vice President of Sales of the Americas at EventsAIR, our conference platform for this year's virtual conference. Karen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure.
So I want to start off in providing software technology solutions for large conference organizers such as the CSPC. What are the most important areas for event planners to consider when deciding if they want to run their event virtually, as a hybrid event, or strictly in person?
I think there's a lot really to consider, but I think if you really take it back to its core, they really need to look at what the restrictions and regulations are on the actual intended client base or attendee base that they're looking at. Virtual and hybrid options have really removed a lot of the barriers to people who maybe in the past have had issue or challenges with attending, be that for financial reasons or just from a timing perspective. And so really the biggest thing that they can do for themselves is identify really if the goal is to really grow revenue or if the goal is really to increase reach. Hybrid and virtual offerings do allow for an increase in reach, only from the perspective that you have people, again, that might not have that opportunity to travel or whose finances maybe would be restrictive to them doing it. You also have people that just don't have as much time in their day, and what they're finding is if they can do the virtual side, that they can actually still engage and it does not keep them from participating in other activities at the same time. So really kind of getting a feel for your attendees, seeing where they're at with that is really quite key. Really the best way, for the attendee experience is just to know too what sessions are and where their biggest, where they're going to gain the most from their participation.
I can definitely identify with that. I love being able to kind of balance working for part of the day and then attending a conference virtually.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if we think of, our current world with COVID-19, how do you think this has altered any of these considerations the event planners have to make? And as the world prepares, to return to some in-person programming, how do you envision perhaps more hybrid events taking place?
In general in society now, change really doesn't happen much without some sort of push. And COVID-19 was obviously a push in this industry, and for many, many decades, we've all enjoyed, how things were. We enjoyed the social aspect of meetings, and COVID really forced a shift, as far as opening up a lot of that. And there's really bringing the opportunity for an increase in productivity. So it's been as much of anything as the upside and a win-win for meeting planners looking to really engage with their audiences. So realistically, with everything that's gone on in the last few years, hybrid's going to be around for quite some time, and it is going to be a reality for all of us. So knowing what you've got and knowing how to leverage and make the most of all of that is really where you're going to see the difference in the different events that people are running. The smart planners and the companies that really learn to leverage all of the tools and learn how to make the experience for the attendees engaging and actually an experience, as opposed to just sitting there mind numbingly in front of a video screen watching things happen. So it's all about engagement. It's about getting people involved, making sure that they're excited about what's happening, and giving them the opportunity to make those connections, because for them, connections really historically have been the biggest drive for people to attend, these meetings. So as a part of COVID's forced, the tech community and companies such as our own to really get a lot smarter too, and things have moved way past the Zoom days and really given us a lot more tools to help make it an experience, for the guests. There's live streams between the virtual and the in-person attendees. There's engagement between the two parties so that, one group or the other isn't shorted in what they can and cannot pick up. The audience is really, becoming now part, or much more part of the experience, not just from those people that are in person, but also those people that are, remote as well. So bringing in virtual attendees into the actual physical experience, or the in-person group, and vice versa. So even down to having, virtual talent is speaking and engaging in your events as well. So I'd say those are probably the biggest ways that COVID's impacted everything.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And picking up a little bit on this, keeping the attendees engaged piece, can you speak a little bit more to some of those key features event management solution specialists like EventsAIR can implement? Take our conference, for example, what features would you encourage some of the attendees to use?
I would say, really anything that keeps you from sitting there just mind-numbingly watching, panel discussions. Really get yourself engaged. Get together, watch that gamification, and see where those goals are. A lot of that information there and a lot of those activities are really going to help guide you toward experiencing a lot, opening up maybe areas that you might have been reticent, to attend. I think really also participating in the live Q&A. It'll be quite interesting, to be able to watch, everyone's Q&A come in. There'll be potential opportunities where you might even see people brought up on stage to ask questions, and you'll start really feeling that interactivity. I think too, breakout sessions, and not just sitting back and actually engaging. You will be on screen, with voice and video. Those are going to be key components for you to really build some of that networking and engagement pieces. And then the one feature really that you can do to help maintain a lot of that social feel and the gaining of those connections is really to leverage the meeting hub. The meeting hub is all about you being able to search out other like attendees that you maybe would have tried to find at a normal conference, and looking for those individuals and reaching out to them and making some connections, and not just from a virtual business card exchange, but you could actually, plan a one-on-one appointment with them, or really to, share your contact information. You could even do a video call or a live chat, to make sure that you guys really are on the same page. So that is what really kind of helps bring it all together in my perspective.
Yes, I completely agree. I think networking is one of the key reasons for attendees to participate in conferences. So I love that you talked about the meeting hub and the breakout room opportunities.
Right.
CSPC is so very thankful for the support of EventsAIR. What are your kind of final thoughts on how the digital platform for this year's conference came together?
I think is great. You know, I really do have to applaud CSPC on their willingness to embrace the technology and to really say, okay, let's do this. Let's not just have a virtual exhibition hall, but let's get virtual presentations by those exhibitors, and let's really do a poster hall where you know, people aren't missing out on that poster activity, which has been such a big piece, you know, of the in-person conferences. And I think too, you know, I've seen, you know, where you're leveraging out the branding and the styling of the different pages and forms and backgrounds just to really make sure that it does stay engaging. So yeah, it's been wonderful to really watch how that's all come together. And I think too, it's been important, and you guys have kept key of mind, you know, that look, it's not just about the tech. It's about to making those panel discussions and that content as engaging and rewarding and really keeping the soul of what your guys' conference is all about and getting it very active and keeping it in tune with what they'd really hoped, obviously, you know, from years past, what to expect from you in years yeah, moving forward, I guess.
Thank you so very much, Karen. And I can't tell you how excited I am to begin using the platform in a few days here and using and seeing what all the features look like in action.
Yeah, let's see. And really, yeah, let's see too, if you guys can leverage out that live host. That's another piece that I think is really going to make everything come together for your attendees too. So I forgot to mention that one before.
Thank you so much, Karen.
You bet. Take care. And you guys are going to have a great meeting.
Hello.